It's Mark Messier, and you're listening to Blue Shirt Underground Show, the #1 Rangers podcast. Make sure you tune in and find out all the latest news. Let's go Rangers.
Blue Shirt Underground, motherfucker!
BS a Ranger fan. Can't BS a Ranger fan.
This is an unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, remember what's the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, remember what's the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Blue Shirt Underground Show. Today is Wednesday, November 1st, and we are here to celebrate the first place New York Rangers. They still in first place? They were in first place.
Yes.
Yesterday. They're still in first place, right?
Yes.
Changes hour to hour, 7-2, red hot. Fans still finding things to complain about.
Oh,
Still finding players to heap on this fan base. I don't know what other fan bases are like, but they can't be like this one. They just can't.
They are. I think people just don't know how to enjoy themselves. What
I
the
went back, get it?
Yeah, I mean, we're back in first place. I don't even remember being in first place last year at all. The Devils in Carolina got out to a fast start, and we never sniffed first place the rest of the year.
Didn't feel like it. While we have at the top of the show, do you mind if I tell a fast story that has nothing to do with hockey, but it's still funny about being a fan?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So for those of you that follow along and know my life and you follow me on Facebook, whatever, you know that my stepdaughter Avery, everybody knows Avery. She's been in the viewing party. She goes to Coastal Carolina University. So now I do like college football, but I have never really latched on to a team. I find it hard to get really attached to a team when the players are changing every year. You got a whole crop of new players. So I like to watch it, but I'm a casual fan. I know what's going on, but I don't have one team that I absolutely have to root for. Well, now that Avery goes to Coastal Carolina, I have taken a vested interest in Coastal Carolina football. I watch it every week. I know the players. I know what's going on. And last week, Saturday, we went to visit her for family weekend, and I got tickets for their homecoming game against Marshall, right? Now, Coastal Carolina absolutely blew them out of the water. I think the final score was 36-6 or something like that. I mean, it wasn't even close. It was never close, right? And we were sitting there. We're just having a good time, doing our thing and enjoying the game. It was a beautiful evening. And the Marshall family section was on the opposite side of the stadium. They were all in green, which is Marshall's team colors. They're green and white. They're the Thundering Herd. But and our section was all Coastal Carolina, except for these two guys that were sitting maybe 35 feet away from us. And it was 13-0 in this game, like right out of the gate, like 10 minutes into the game. Carolina, they're dominating, and it's already 13-0 in this game, right? Well, Marshall gets the ball, and they get a first down, and this guy gets up in front of the entire section and does the first down, right? And he's like taunting everyone. I'm like, dude, know your fucking audience. First of all, you're sitting in Coastal Carolina. You know, you're surrounded by non-fans. You're losing 13-0. You're already getting your ass handed to, and this guy's showing off. So this goes on for about 5 minutes, and then it just kicks in for me. I gotta start, and now I'm heckling. Right, these poor I'm heckling everything about Marshall. I know nothing about them. I'm making fun of their name. Looks like the Thundering Turds to me, right? And I'm making sure that I'm loud enough so that this guy hears every word coming out of my mouth. I'm making fun of every player's name. I'm making fun of everything they have. I'm like, oh wow, you got 3 whole points. Oh, at least your kicker doesn't suck, right? I mean, poor Grayson McCall, Matt. He's out. I think he's going to be out for the rest of the season. I like Grayson. He took a bad, dirty hit a couple weeks ago, and he hasn't been back. But yeah, so it was just, I was perfect.
He's the quarterback.
He's their quarterback. Yeah. I was perfectly willing, Eddie, to just sit there and enjoy the evening with my family.
Yeah,
I had my beer. Beer was only $7 in this stadium. A big can of beer for $7. I'm like, this is a third of the price of Madison Square Garden. It's fantastic.
Yeah, well,
I was perfectly content.
They know their audience.
To just sit there and enjoy my Chanticleer football and Teal Nation with my family in the bosom of my family. But no, this guy had to push my buttons and I had to flip that switch, Eddie. You would have thought I was there like when Coastal Carolina came over the hill and built the building. I was just, I'm sorry for bothering you, but I want to offer a promotion for your channel, your followers. Yes, contact our business manager.
Yes. Contact Mitch Beck.
Right.
He handles all our finances. So, but you know what that is? That's just instinct. That's something you have developed over your fandom. And, why don't I get to reload the page warning?
I'm getting that too. Let me. Now it's gone. I'm okay now. We good?
Is it because we made fun of Shiny Usurperu?
I don't know. Maybe she shut the whole thing down. Anyway, it was just funny how easily I was able to slip into that heckle mode.
You were born.
It is. It's instinctive with me. It's instinctive with me to just be an asshole at the game. I mean, it's just like.
Well, he was. Shots were fired first.
Right. I took it personally. This is my stepdaughter's school. I got to protect the turf, Teal Nation.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you did, and it probably made it a lot more fun for you too. Because I'm really like you. I enjoy that role.
I was what was I saying? I don't know. There was like one thing that I kept making fun of. Oh, that's what I kept like so stupid, right? But I was making fun of them. Your university is named after a bad flea market retail store. So now I'm calling them the TJ Maxx Thundering Herd, the Ross Thundering Herd, the Goodwill Thundering Herd. And my son just looks at me at one point. Jimmy looks at me and he goes, Dad, that is so fucking stupid, but it's funny.
All right.
I'm like, well, that's what I'm here for. Wow. Now we left the end of the third quarter, Newman, because we had to get up at 6:00 in the morning Sunday and drive all the way back, which included dropping Megan off at the Washington D.C. airport. So no, we didn't stay for the whole game. Okay. It was not natural. I don't know why you care, Costa. You don't drink beer, but if you must know, it was Yangling Flight
quality, and it was
Yangling Flight, America's oldest brewery.
Yangling, and that's his favorite beer, isn't it?
Yangling Light or Flight. I'll take either. Now, the teal field is awesome, Matt. I love it. I've got pictures of us standing on the field when we toured the school. We walked right into the stadium and right out onto the field. I'll show you a picture of it. She flew out of Dulles.
This is good because this is all about fandom and how you've become a Coastal fan now.
Right.
Right into
Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina.
So maybe we should go on the Marshall website and heckle them from there too. Right. Okay, so while we're on, I got something in my craw. We hinted it at the beginning, and now you've talked about fandom. Guys, I don't understand why you're a fan if you can't enjoy what you just saw in 5 games. I just don't understand. I know everybody, well, I got to wait for the playoffs to judge. Don't waste your time watching the game then. Don't watch the game and complain, this guy's not doing it. This guy does, but if butts and candy and nuts. You guys got to get to be a fan. You've got to enjoy when they're winning.
Right. You got to enjoy what's in front of you.
I mean, I love Rock. He's one of the greatest humans that I've met since I've done this. But he's like Eeyore. Everything is bad. He's still complaining about Trocheck's every move.
And Blake Wheeler.
And Blake Wheelchair. It's all the I don't care. The Rangers are in first place. They set a franchise record. Now, granted, in the old days, they didn't have overtimes and all that because they had 2 overtime wins in the 5 game. There could have been ties back in the day. But for the first time in franchise history, when was this team founded? 1926?
Yeah.
Right? For the first time since 1926, they won 5 games on the road. Western, it's like they went to Boston, the Islanders, Philly.
Right.
This is a West Coast swing of death.
This is a gamut they just ran. I mean, we've talked about it for a long time. You know, these West Coast swings can kill you. They could kill a season.
Yes.
They could bury you.
Well, that's true. I did still.
I don't disagree with you, Sean, but for right now, I'll enjoy it.
I understand. Do people realize? I don't know. In the old days when there was only 6 teams and we weren't going to win Stanley Cups, there are 32 teams in this league now. Most likely, the New York Rangers are not going to win the Stanley Cup this year. I'm hoping, but odds are you're waiting for the bottom to fall. But at least you're enjoying right now. Yes, ZR Striker's right. Social media, you're exposed to every kook's take, and whether some are good, but we have to learn as a fan to enjoy. I want to be happy, even if it's fleeting. I want it to be happy, and I just want everybody just to take a chill pill.
I'll worry about the playoffs when they get there.
Right.
Right now, I'm worried. I'm only worried about tomorrow night.
And I'm going to be honest with you, fans. I don't think the Rangers are really playing especially good.
I would agree with that.
I think what the coach has promised has not come to fruition. I do not see in some regards it has, but this best defense is offensive pressure in the zone I have not seen. Now, granted, it's a little skewed because you're on the road for the last 5 games. Last couple games, the Rangers were kind of hanging on because they're tired. They want to go home.
Right.
So I understand that. But 5-on-5, get this, Jim. They only have 9 goals, 5-on-5. Wait, no, they have 12 goals, 5-on-5 in 9 games. That, to me, doesn't show me a high-pressure offense.
Right.
Which I was promised. Now, granted, I'm not throwing Laviolette under the bus. It takes a while to get this thing going. There are some parts of it that are working. I don't think they're playing to their highest degree. There's a couple guys who are absolutely struggling.
Yes.
But I'm not saying, hey, throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Hey, Chris.
This guy's a bust. That. I'm not going there.
No.
But then quit. If you say one cup in your lifetime, then why watch? They're never going to win. John, I love you. But you know what? They can win 17 cups in a row. and it won't be enough for how much crap that we've been through. It never will. It never will. We have suffered so much heartbreak with this team, but I refuse to not get happy when they win, no matter how they win. So,
and because I'm getting contrarian points in the chat. I don't mean I'm worried about tomorrow night. First of all, it's November 2nd. I'm just saying that's the game I'm focused on.
Yeah, it's on the schedules. Next game up.
Right. And I've also seen, it was a week road trip. Oilers didn't have this. Vancouver was weak, blah, blah, blah. But okay. It's not about who you play sometimes. It's when you play them. Roger Nielsen taught me that.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And I'm not going to, what am I going to apologize because Connor McDavid's hurt? No, fuck him. The hell with him. It's not my fault.
And you know what I heard before that game?
And if they'd have lost that game, Ranger fans, couldn't even beat him without fucking McDavid. What the fuck is wrong with this team? Same old Rangers.
Well, I think it was you who said, I'm more worried than without McDavid.
Right.
Because that is a trap game for the Rangers.
I say that to Jen all the time. So, I think I said it last week on the show. Sometimes I think I'd rather face a team when they're at full strength, when they're at their best.
But I understand being skeptical, Paul. That is fine. That is fine. But they win. I don't see anybody celebrates a win. It's always right to the negative. And I guess that is the social media culture is negative stuff gets more and Kurt makes a good point. Now, the only game that so far has been a horror show was the Nashville game, where they completely did not show up. Right. That reminded me of a game. Probably it was the worst game of the season. I mean,
yeah.
But this road trip, they go into Seattle. They played a great game in Seattle. Jonathan Quick. Let's give him some applause. Let's give him his flowers, as they say today. Let's give him his flowers. Let's give him the white carnation.
Oh, Joe, he's leading the league in save percentage of goals against, Joe. Oh,
Joe. 2 starts. I mean, give it a break. Still, what is it?
You are what your record says you are, according to Bill Parcells.
There's a lot to be.
Yes, the Columbus game was.
This guy was. I mean, it may still. Again, I don't want to qualify it, but so far good. So far, I like how they call him old man in the locker room. They apparently wasn't Hawk older when he was with the Rangers? I don't know. Apparently,
about the same. Frankie Gallo, what's up, buddy?
Frankie Gallo, how are you?
By the way, speaking of old man, I got called at the Coastal Carolina in the parking lot the other night. I got called Pops.
Oh my God,
Pops! I was on the phone trying to find because we had to Uber to the game, and my son and 2 of the girls were with him, and they were in a separate Uber, and I was trying to find him in the parking lot. And this kid comes up to me, he goes, "Yo, Pops." He goes, "I know that look. That's the you're supposed to come meet me look, and where are you look?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right, but knock off the Pops shit, kid. Get out of here." Anyway, sorry. I just thought of it when you said old man.
Yeah. Pops. That's a little derogatory, I think. Calm down, Pops.
If I was 70, all right, fine, I could live with it.
You don't even have any gray hair.
I do. I just cut it.
Oh, I got a little gray. Anyway, I just got my hair buzzed today, so I got the whole full curly and Mo. And anyway, so getting back to my point is that, and I think it was who was it? Robert Schmidt pointed out about how they did outplay Columbus, and Merzlikins played a great game. So let's get to back. We get Seattle,
and the guy that replaced him played well too in that game.
Right. So both, but we also know Laviolette has a history of like sprinkling this magic dust on these teams for the first year.
Right.
Everybody plays better. Again, I'm very surprised the Rangers have the record. I still think they have a ways to go in certain areas. But there are certain things that I see, and I think you see them too. And, and then Edmonton, I'm going back. Yeah, Edmonton, he came back with quick in that game.
He did. Well, Jonathan Quick had a very good career record against Edmonton.
Oh, really?
So
That was the impetus for that?
I believe so. I would be helpful if I actually had it in front of me what his numbers were, but apparently he had very good numbers. So he was playing a hunch. Let's see. Splits career. Jonathan Quick, 25-11 lifetime against Edmonton.
That's pretty good.
With a 9.22 save percentage and a 2.13 goals against. There are very few teams that he has better numbers against. One of them is the Flyers.
The Flyers.
So we'll see if maybe he plays when they play Philly. But Dr. B, I could have gone my entire life without knowing that.
What? His splits?
I'm not even gonna repeat it.
Oh, come on. See, you're doing the whole thing again with the juju and all this stuff. We have no control of anything. All our worrying and I'm not going to say this. What has it gotten us?
No. His comment was so gross and something I don't even want to talk about.
I thought you were talking about you didn't want to jinx Quick with the Flyer. The Flyers.
No.
Joe Garcia, how are you, my friend?
What's up, Joe? Good to see you. Got a packed house. It's a who's who.
It really is. SRO, as they say.
Paul Gaduzzi's here. We haven't seen Paul in the chat room in a while.
Yeah, we would. I want to get Paul's take on a subject we'll get to in a little bit. But, they played a really solid game in front of Quick. He gets the shutout. I was a little jealous that Chesty didn't get the shutout because he never gets shutouts. And but the next game, he got the start. Let me tell you about this Vancouver game. I felt like, what is Vancouver, a bunch of imposters here? They completely look really, really good. And it wasn't so much the Rangers were not ready for them, whatever. This team with Elias Pettersson, JT Miller, they said he was 30 years old. I nearly fell off my couch. How is this guy 30? We started doing this show. He was on the team.
Remember, I was at opening night in Arizona. I met she was his fiance then. Now they've been married. I think they've been married like 7 years.
And he's 30.
He was playing his first game that night. That's why she was there. Now he's 30 and he's on his third team?
Yeah. I want to get this guy back. We probably will. They got some good players on that team. But Sam and Joe, they got to stop with the Quinn Hughes. They were. I thought they wanted to take a shower with this guy. They loved him so much. I understand. He's got brothers in the league. Yeah, I know, Pops. I know. He's a real Pops. He's 73, whatever he is. Wow. Ryan Malone better than Blake Wheeler, please. Blake Wheelchair getting a lot of heat.
It's too soon.
Yeah, he's the third line player, please. All right.
Guy played in Winnipeg for 13 years.
Give him some adjustment time.
He's here for 9 games. Come on.
Come on.
I got to give the guy more than 9 games.
Yeah.
This guy's been in the league 13 years. I got to figure he's going to get it together. And if he doesn't, I want his ass gone at the trade deadline.
That's right. Let's get Patrick Kane and see all that.
Tony Stanziano is here for his roses, as you said. Here's the flowers.
Tony, who said that he's won Peter Laviolette for like 10 years, which I don't think anybody's ever uttered those words. We need, but let's see. Well, everybody's saying, what is he adjusting to? Electricity again? No. Well, that is kind of a good quip. But,
it is a tough crowd,
you gotta move your family. You got to do this. It's a culture shock. I mean, there is nothing to do in Winnipeg.
What if Blake Wheeler wasn't on this team, it'd be 9-0. Is that what everybody's trying to tell me?
Yeah,
it'd be 9-0. The season, they've clinched the President's Trophy already by now.
Yeah, because they're paying him so much money. They're paying him $900,000. I expect 7 goals. I mean, give it a break.
He's the only thing stopping us from trading for Connor McDavid.
He's only a placeholder till we trade at the deadline for some superstar. So calm your jets. No pun intended.
He's just keeping Brennan Othman's spot warm.
Yeah. Everyone wants to be Brennan Othman. Everybody's doing good. The Rangers are doing good. The Wolfpack are doing good. Just keep everything the way. Can't we have nice things? I know it's in our nature to.
I'm taking it game by game.
I'm more concerned with Kakko than Blake Wheeler because the Rangers have invested everything, a second overall pick, and Kakko, and I don't know. I know your daughter's a big fan. I don't know where you guys stand with him. I mean, this is getting a little. He's getting to playing time. I mean, he's on that first line, right? Yeah. Why does he only have 1 goal and 1 assist?
He's no, I don't know. I'm not really. I'll be honest with you. I'm not. They're 7-2. I'm just not worried yet. Yeah, it's not time. I'm not worried about anything. But
I feel like one of and it was mentioned in the chat before. One of the reasons that 5-on-5 is got to improve. It has to. In my opinion, you can't be 20th, and their power play is ridiculously great. I mean, they're at like an 83% clip or something like that, second in the league.
And the first line power play is
34%. Sorry,
the first line power play is actually getting more minutes than they did under Gerard Gallant at the current time.
That has been happening of late. Is
that also because are they getting more power play time because they're ending power plays by scoring?
Yes.
Right? That's probably what do they call it? A cause and effect, right?
Yeah. No, I think if you're going at a 34% clip, and let me remind you, Ranger fans, the vaunted 5-on-3, we have scored 3 times this year on the 5-on-3. I can't even remember the last time under Gallant that we scored on 5-on-3s. I'm not blaming him. I'm just
going back to Ron Lowe.
I mean,
they're lucky if they get 3 shots on goal on a 5-on-3, much less 3 goals.
I mean, 9 games in, 3 5-on-3. They may have had more, but they have 3 5-on-3 goals. I just think they got to improve 5-on-5. I think one of the keys is, yes, Blake Wheeler chipping in some goals. Yes, Kakko. And maybe Ryan Lindgren will decide to get a point this season. Him and his -4.
It's -3.
Oh, I'm sorry. The other losers, Blake Wheeler, wheelchair. He's a -4.
By the way, Vinny Trocheck, remember our over-unders for bad penalties? He's going away. He's headed for over. He might make the over by Thanksgiving at this point.
Jim, I couldn't agree more. And you know what infuriates me about Vinny Trocheck? This moron takes penalties, then smiling. Why are you smiling? Did he have plastic surgery where he can't close his mouth? He's always smiling. You're in the penalty box taking a stupid penalty, give me agita, and you're going to smile in my face?
If I was making his money, I'd be smiling too, my friend. Laughing all the way to the penalty box.
I guess as long as he wins faceoffs, I can deal with it.
Joe, is this team winning faceoffs, Joe?
What are the faceoff numbers? I don't even
54.5%, Joe. Nick Bonino has saved the franchise.
Listen.
Nick Bonino.
Listen, he does what I like. I mean, I don't agree with his face or his look, but he blocks shots. How's he doing on faceoffs?
58.8. Vinny Trocheck, 61.8. Mika Zibanejad, 50.4. Philip Hedl still clinging to 45.8%. It's a revelation, Joe. Oh, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
The face-offs.
I have to tell you, Michael Lakem says Zibanejad and Kreider are the best duo of all time. What, for the New York Rangers? How about Rattel and Gilbert?
Messier and Graves. They weren't
How about
bad.
Messier and Graves? I
They
mean,
weren't too bad.
I would like to see what the great Sean McCaff, elitist author of several books,
Right.
has to say about that.
That's his next book, Greatest
They
Duos.
certainly
By Kissio and Mullen.
Oh, God. Yes, John, you're right. They have a lot of. This is weird to say. The Rangers have some really nice contracts with Hedl and Kreider. I got to tell you, Chris Kreider, I was wrong about you. Me and you said he's never going to get more than 30 goals. We said we know what he is. He's hit his ceiling. This guy, I think he's going to go down as one of the greatest Rangers ever to play. I don't see him ever leaving. I feel like
I don't either.
A contract for life.
Well, I mean, when we did our mea culpa on him last year, I said, he probably winds up with his number in the rafters, which nobody wanted to hear. So. But you know what? You look at his numbers and you look at who's up there now. Tell me why he doesn't deserve, the numbers he's headed for. I mean, the guy's got almost he's going to hit 300 goals for his career, all as a Ranger this year. How many guys have scored 300 goals? All with the Rangers.
Yeah.
2, 3.
Yeah, I listen. Oh, Dave Farish, the master of the hip check.
Dave Farish.
Wasn't he a coach? But getting back, I think Kreider's shown me so much. First of all, he's a power play maven again. I've never seen a guy be a master of the tip-in like he is, or the redirect, whatever you want to call it.
The deflection goal.
Deflection goal. He is just,
Eddie, think back to when he was on this show. What did he tell us was the thing he wanted to work on the most? His hands. I guess with all these deflection goals, he figured it out, right?
Right? No. And it's funny because
we'll never get him on the show again, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Nobody ever does.
Maybe when he's retired 10 years.
Yeah. Now they have a million shows out there. You can't get a guest. He probably has a show. Him and his wife have a home decorating show. But what I was going to say is that he's even become a guy. He doesn't rack up a lot of assists, but he's become a very good. He's made some good passes this year. And I really been and now that he's a shorthanded threat, he's been one of the most, and Panarin too. But Kreider has just become a star player. Yes, and him and Zibanejad have a certain chemistry. But I will tell you this, and Jim alluded to it in the last show, Mika. You got to have more in your repertoire than that one-timer. Even the goal he scored the other night was a one-timer on a wrist shot, or it was a one-timer. It wasn't a slapper, but it was a shot. Don't worry, yeah, that's true.
Just as long as we're talking about it here, the answer to my question: how many guys have scored 300 goals as a Ranger? 2.
Really? How many does he have?
Only Rattel and Gilbert. He's at 271.
Oh.
So you got it. So Gilbert was 406, right? So just average. And I'll even add in for decline. He's maybe 4 years from becoming the all-time, maybe 5 from becoming the all-time goal scorer in this franchise's history. He's not catching Gilbert in points. But because Gilbert had 615 assists because he played with Rattel and he played Rattel and Hadfield and those guys.
Right.
So, he racked up 615 assists. Kreider is 400 assists behind him. But he more than likely finishes as the all-time goal scorer in his franchise.
Yeah.
No, Rattel, Rattel was 336 goals as a Ranger, Sean.
And then he was traded to the Brew Crew.
Right. Rattel finished with 491 for his career, 336 with the Rangers. Next on the list for Chris Kreider, he will pass Andy Bathgate, would be next.
Never heard of him.
Bathgate is one ahead of him.
MSG never did a special on him. I never heard of him. Sorry.
Kreider's already in the top 5. So you got to figure he's going to finish his career as, barring the unforeseen, he finishes as the all-time goal scorer in his franchise, right?
I don't know. I
guess what I'm saying is, wouldn't that rate him? Hey, babe, there's Jen. She's at work. Doesn't that rate getting your jersey in the rafters?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definito Burrito. And I feel like he's like going to be a legacy Ranger. I can't see him going.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sean. I misunderstood you. I'm sorry. As far as guys who played in New York their whole career, yes.
I think maybe it's wishful thinking on my, and he's got legs and speed, and that, like Mike Gartner, that can keep you in the league for a long time. And also, as mentioned in this illustrious chat room, he's a guy who parks himself in front of the net.
Right.
You could do that all. I mean, Millie's here.
Millie's here.
I've been very impressed with them. Mika, it's just frustrating all the time with the one time. He's got to have more moves than that move. Just mix it up. Humor me. And also the Rangers, and again, the chat room is hopping, so they're giving me a lot of good topics. What's with the bad breakaway moves with the Rangers? Mika's got that terrible move. Hedl couldn't score again. Was it Vancouver, I think? He had a breakaway. And then Kakko had a breakaway, and they can't put it away, and it's making these games a lot closer than they should be.
Lafreniere and Kakko both had one in the Winnipeg game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got to be bad. I think Kakko missed the net.
No, Lafreniere missed the net, I think.
Oh, he's the one who missed.
But they might have both missed the net, actually.
Yeah,
They both might have missed the net.
Great talents. Superstar talents.
Yes, Paul. Zuki.
Paul.
Zook.
My cat is named after Zuccarello. Zuki. Yes. I have one cat. Capo missed the net. I don't know. Whatever it was, guys, we got to do better. We got to do better on goal on these.
Well, Eddie, like you said, I don't think this team's even scratched the surface yet as far as really playing the way Laviolette wants them to play on a nightly basis. We see it in spurts. We see it at times. They're blocking a lot of shots. They're hunkering down, but they're not getting as much offense off the trap that they want. They'll get there. It's game 9.
And I have to say, part of what Laviolette preached is having these defensemen more involved. It's paying dividends. Adam Fox already has 3 goals. Usually it takes him half the season to get 3 goals because he's an assist. I mean, he's a great talent, but he's an assist guy. But you see where he is? He's in front of the net. He's on the side of the net, rather. He's getting goals. He's picking up loose pucks. That would have never happened. You've got DeAndre Miller, although you call him the gang grenade, and he's got 1 goal and 6 assists. It's not bad for, not bad. He got that overtime goal. Was it time goal or overtime? Was it overtime? No, it wasn't overtime.
DeAndre, yes, that was overtime of the Vancouver game.
That's when Kreider passed the puck to him, I think. Kind of like, I was like, how did he find him there? Like, I didn't even know who scored. Gotta say, Panarin, the Artemi what I was calling him? Baldarin, whatever his name I was calling him.
No Heron. Is that
no
what you call
Heron,
him?
yes.
No Heron.
No Heron. Hey, shave it all off. Maybe I'll get lucky, man.
Right.
I mean, you give it a break. I mean, he's playing otherworldly. He shoots now. Oh my God. So I thought so. Well, what are we looking at here?
Here's the Miller goal. Hang on, let me blow this up.
It's Miller time.
Drops it off. Pedersen went down. Kreider on the takeaway. Kreider against Hronek. Kreider. Score! DeAndre Miller wins it in overtime. Score! DeAndre Miller wins it in overtime.
DeAndre the Giant. I like that one too. That's a good one, John.
Beautiful goal.
Yeah, Sam was right on top of it.
It was.
I thought he was going to scream, "The black guy!"
No, that would be great.
No, that would not really correct.
And Keandre gets the pass and
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Yeah, an athletic goal. Pops Miller.
the relationship.
Oh man, I tell you that. I guarantee that's the only reason Sam knew it right away. If it was a white dude, he'd be yelling "Heat of Lafreniere." He wouldn't even know who's. Hey, I'm just telling you how it is. I mean, I'm an older gentleman. I have a hard time recognizing people. I'm like, who's the lead singer of that group? The black guy. Then everybody knows what I mean.
Darius Rucker.
Frankie the Rifle had the hat trick the other night. You see that, Jim?
I did not see that.
And I knew the Rangers were going to beat Vancouver when your favorite has a job on that team. Philip DiGiuseppe.
DiGiuseppe.
Oh,
yeah, but you see what he did to Mika's beautiful face, though?
No, I didn't see that.
He put that gash under his eye. That was from Giuseppe.
That was your cue to play the Tarantella there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was more worried about his face.
Oh, wow.
Say it again. Who? What? Who? Who's it?
Giuseppe, one of your all-time favorites. No, see, you guys picking them up too late in fantasy hockey because that train's going to end and it's going to come to an abrupt stop. I did that with one guy many years ago. Forget who it was. Picked him up and then he had like 10 goals in the first 12 games and he didn't score for the rest. The Wojtek of
Voltek, the Polish Prince.
Him, the Polish Prince. Wasn't he good in shootouts, as I remember? I don't know. I know Coach
I don't remember.
Not like him. I remember Coach not liking him. So anywho, I think I
just thought it was weird that a Polish guy with a name like Voltek Volsky spoke with a Canadian accent. Felt like we've been duped.
Yes. So we're talking about the guys. Panarin has been great. Kreider's been great. I'll tell you one thing, and I don't know if it's because they were tired or whatever, but against Winnipeg, I saw no hitting. There's absolute no physicality and stuff. And that game was boring. I hate to say it. I'm glad they won. It was a snooze fest.
It was. There was very little flow to the game. Both teams had trouble getting anything going. Winnipeg dominated the play for a while, but there wasn't a lot of action. There wasn't a lot of hitting. And look, I mean,
It was like
you would not have been. Would you really have been surprised if the Rangers lost that game? Like
no.
6-1? I mean, they want to go. You got to want to go home at this. But it's 10 days on the road. It's a grind. You're playing games at 10 o'clock at night. Body clock's all off. Mika's got a gash on his face. I mean,
I wasn't looking at his face. Wow. Bill is going a little blue in the chat room. And I think Michael Latham is correct. I mean, last couple of years, we've had Gerard Gallant and the Chuckle Hut. I mean, every press conference Laviolette does, he lost his best friend.
Always, when Mike comes in every day, looks like it's the worst day of his life.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like you wouldn't. I'm not going to be able to tell if they're 2-7 in the next 9 games or they're 7-2 after 9 games.
He makes Chris Drury look like Ronald McDonald.
Maybe that's the secret. Everybody looks miserable.
The secret's in the miserable sauce.
Yeah, and so.
Lavi spoke to the media today. We could after practice, we could listen to that if you want to.
Yeah. I just want to.
It's long, but we can stop it and maybe listen to a little bit more of it later. Whatever you want to do, but we have it.
I thought they were talking about Braden Schneider, and he had a slow start. I think he's getting acclimated. I think we all can agree Eric Gustafsson is a really good pickup.
It's not really shocking when somebody who's 83 years old dies.
Yeah, really.
He died when he's 33. That's shocking. Matthew Perry was 54. That was shocking. Bobby Knight's 83. That's what happens.
And, anger issues and everything like that. Wow. That's true. That's true. So, it is. It's not Matthew Perry-like, but it's certainly Bobby Knight, you will be missed. Not by me, because I don't like college basketball, and I think the guy was kind of a schmuck. So anyway, getting back to the Rangers, which is the most important topic in New York sports right now. I don't want to care. I think Schneider seems to be getting more involved offensively. I think he's got a lot more potential offensively than he's showing. But I guess now when he's paired with Gustafsson's going to be the guy who's going to be joining the play and getting up the ice like Laviolette likes to do. Trouba's got the Keonis. I wish, going back to DeAndre Miller for a second, I just want him to hit more. He's a big guy. How come he don't throw the hits? I mean,
I don't know.
I know some plays it's just not in him, but shouldn't somebody say, listen, Pops, you gotta hit some people here.
Pops Miller sounds like an old blues man, right?
Yeah, I just feel like maybe it's not in his game. I don't know, but I think, and Trouba does take care of that. I was begging for a Trouba big hit in that Winnipeg game. That game had to be like a wake up call for the Rangers. So, excuse me. So that was that. So now, Paul Gaduzzi, he made a concerted effort to be here. He wants to talk about. I think I've called DeAndre Miller the chocolate smoothie in the past, and I think it's not a derogatory term. The chocolate smoothie. Let me tell you about the chocolate smoothie, the real chocolate smoothie. Have you ever gone to this tropical smoothie place?
No.
Has anybody how do you never go to? Do they have them up there?
Couldn't tell you.
Jen, do they have tropical smoothies?
I know that I think the girls have gone to them at some place. Maybe we've
it's
been
for
on a
people
trip or
who,
something.
it's you can get like a health kind of smoothie, but the chocolate one is the most indulgent one on there. And the chocolate smoothie is delicious there, but it's a secret item now. You can only ask for it. It's not on the menu. Yeah, that's a good one too, Robert. And I love the chocolate smoothie. So when I talk about DeAndre Miller, I hate Panera Bread. That's finger sandwiches, gentlemen. That's not real meal. That women love that place. I don't blame you. But okay. Well, I tell you, tropical smoothie's good. But anyway, going back to that, so that's not a pejorative when I call them that. As I'm in love with the chocolate smoothie. Happy hour. Yeah, they have happy hour there too and everything in the morning. Anyway, okay. I've completely gone off the rails. So this is awesome. We got to the topic that I wanted to discuss. It comes up every year. And I know I'm a little all over the place. But the new jerseys leaks, Joe. Oh, these alternate jerseys. Every year I go through this. I told you I don't care. I'm not going to buy your jersey regardless of what it looks like. Do you have a picture of this jersey? Because I want to see everybody's reaction. I'm sure everybody hates it. It's got too many stripes, apparently. I don't care. I don't lose my mind over this stuff. Joe doesn't like them.
Oh, they're hideous.
You got a picture of them? You could
hang on. They're ugly. Absolutely terrible.
This is aesthetics. What the hell is that?
This is like I don't know. I don't know what this is.
Brand?
The Rangers' new third jersey has leaked online, giving us a sneak peek at their return to navy blue. This is an Aesthetics Flash Report for October 28th. I'm Chris. Thanks for watching. Well, as mentioned in my latest Jersey Watch report, the New York Rangers are slated to add an alternate uniform this season, the NHL's final year with Adidas at the design helm. And while we wait for official word from the team, the jersey did leak on Friday.
Messon Gretz, he's a Jersey guy, says they rock.
I think it's funny that this Aesthetics does a breaking news report about a jersey.
All right. I'm going to say, look at it like this. I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. And I see, I see some people who agree. John Kozic likes it. Jen likes it.
Take the sleeves, take the stripes off the sleeves, and it's much better. The stripes on the sleeves are just killers. It just looks like I don't even know what it looks like.
I like the shield. You know, I'm always a fan.
I love the shield on the front of the jersey. I love it.
All right. There's something positive.
I'm not crazy about the two different shades, about the navy blue with the royal blue. I'm not crazy about that. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. I just feel like everything after the Winter Classic, the first Winter Classic they were in, everything else has just been very bleh.
Max Landerman says that the stripe, I don't know why the stripes, maybe some of these
I just don't like them. Look, I'm not going to buy it. So if you want to buy it, you want to wear it. If you like it, then we'll wear it. It has no effect on me whatsoever.
No, but I think it's interesting. I feel like every year they come out with this alternative jersey and everybody hates it. But then everybody winds up buying it. Not me, but, there are people, Paul, Matt, Joe, they're big jersey guys. And I'm always want to, kind of get their pulse. See what they think. What's wrong with John Ferguson? He was a great GM. I like those jerseys too. The 2012 Winter Classics.
Let me see if I can find the picture that I showed. Hang on a second. I want to show you this picture. I want to see what people think of this, but I got to find the picture. So bear with me a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I can talk. No, I agree. I like simple jersey. I'm a simpleton, so I like simple jerseys. But, listen, maybe they'll look better on the players. Hey, we didn't have much good luck with those jerseys last year. Didn't we lose like every game we wore them? Especially in the beginning. I remember they were kind of an albatross when we wore those jerseys. Are we going to see more people you'll never see at a hockey game model these things, by the way, like last year?
All right. What do you think of this jersey? This is a concept jersey that someone did.
Well, you'll have to ask the jersey people. To me, I have never been a fan. This is just me of the Liberty jersey.
Now, see, this I apologize that I can't really get a better pair. I guess I could if I worked at it, get the picture bigger. But this I like. I think this is pretty cool looking with the darker blue and the white sleeves. This is a fresh take on the Liberties.
Yeah, there's only one stripe on that sleeve.
Right. This I like. I'm not. Look, I'm all for an alternate jersey. Just give me something. Just give me something good.
I mean, what? They don't really live. Madison Square Garden is not located near the fashion district of any place. So
yes, and apparently, well, that's where that picture was. The picture was from. Joe wanted me to mention that there is a website that specializes in jersey that is not located in this country that is selling that jersey I just showed you. That concept jersey. Apparently, you can buy from them.
Oh,
so anyway.
Well, I don't know. Not that I hate the Liberty.
The cream for the primary color was fantastic, Matt, and the old looking Ranger shield, the kind of throwback to the shield that we have right up here in the window to I guess if you're looking at me to my left, it was very similar to that shield. That was just a great jersey.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, Mr. Chris, the Chinaman found the concept over. The Chinaman, I don't think that's the proper nomenclature. That's from the Big Lebowski. Anyway, yeah. So, everybody has their opinion on the jerseys. It's something to talk about.
Like I said, you like it, fine. It don't matter to me. You wear it all you want.
Well, some of you vehement, they hate those.
Wear it to my house. I'll still offer you a beer. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's just not.
If someone sent me for free, I would wear it. Would you? Or you think it's too fagoozy for you?
I mean, if somebody was nice enough to gift me one, of course I'd wear it. Like Aunt Mary's sweater vest. You got to wear it at least once.
If I get something I don't like, I don't wear it. I don't care.
Anyway,
all right. So we've done the sweater talk. Talk.
They're not sweaters anymore.
What are they?
It's a jersey.
The jerseys?
You can call it sweater all you want. It ain't a sweater.
That's true. And I will tell you this, going back to that last game, I was in the game thread, with the rest of these maniacs. And I got to tell you, man, it was a back and forth of love-hate with the Rangers. It was great. I thought Shesterkin played out of his mind. This guy's made some, absolutely highlight reel saves this early in the season. But the case, Jim, remember, again, I'm not saying Gallant or Laviolette. I'm not saying who's better. It's still a long way to go. Gallant won a hell of a lot of games here. But do you remember a lot of games? Now, maybe I'm wrong. Where it was like 40 shots on net, 45 shots on it. Now, we might see it against Carolina because that's usually what happens. They play Carolina, they get terribly outshot, and then they somehow win the game, which but it'll be interesting. I feel like the Rangers are up there. Again, I hate to be Mr. Larry Brooks, and now all of a sudden I'm slave to analytics and all this stuff. Dancing Larry Brooks. But the block shots are up there. The shot suppression, they're tremendous at. And this, if they can keep teams to getting 26 shots on net, I don't see how they could lose like a lot of games. I mean, if you got Igor in there for the majority of the time, and even Quick, if he's only getting 25 shots on him, it's hard to screw that up. So far, so good. Let's be proud of the Rangers. And, they may lose a couple games. I guarantee if they beat Carolina, they're losing to, what they play, Detroit. Or, but maybe
Detroit's
they
playing
won
pretty
more.
well, though.
What?
Detroit's playing pretty well, though.
Yeah. Detroit's up and coming in. But then they got like 2 games against Minnesota, who's been kind of struggling.
They're coming home and going right back on the road for a game.
Yeah, another stupid. This schedule this year is so stupid.
They literally had to pass Minnesota to get home from Winnipeg. They couldn't find a way to just stop there and play one more road game and then just come home for a week or two.
This schedule, I don't know. I don't know whoever makes the schedule is a complete fool. Is a fool. So that's right. Their giveaways are way down. Now, you wouldn't know that. Hey, look at this guy just gave the puck away. I feel like Fox has made some cataclysmic turnovers this year. More than ever. And didn't he make one in the playoffs last year?
Yeah. 1 or 2 that were just killers.
And this year, again, he's having a tremendous year. But some of these turnovers, but as a team, the turnovers, they don't turn the puck over. So, and in contrast, they don't take away the puck a lot either. So it's kind of like, this is where 5-on-5 goal scoring has got to happen for this team. Only improvement I need to see. That's my main thing. I'm giving everybody carte blanche to improve their game. I'm not getting any. I know a lot of people getting on Goodrow. He's got no goals, no assists, and 12 penalty minutes. I know a lot of people are getting on break. Will Cooley's only got 1 goal. But I like what he's bringing to the game. He's physical. He's an imposing guy out there. It's his first fucking 9 games in the NHL. I know. He had 1 disallowed, I think, too, earlier in the season.
In the game where everybody had a goal disallowed?
Yeah, that was that game.
Columbus, right?
Well, yes. That was a screwy game.
It was.
All right. So you want to get to Richard Nixon's resignation here?
Yeah. Yes, but hold on while we have a captive audience here.
Yeah. Let's talk about this.
Here it is. First, our first bit of self-promotion.
It's going to be great.
Viewing party, December 2nd, McHale's, New York City. Rangers taking on the Predators. It's a 4 o'clock or 4:30 game. Come on out. We're going to have a great time. Drink specials, food specials, raffles, giveaways, lots of stuff to give away. We've got a bunch of stuff that's been donated. People are nice enough to give us some stuff to give away. And we usually buy a couple of things to give away. We'll have plenty of stuff. It's going to be a great time. If you saw the video that we've showed a few hundred times of our of the celebration when Panarin scored in overtime at our last viewing party, it was insane, as Eddie would say.
Insane.
It was crazy. We had our last viewing party was one of our best and one of our best attended. We had around 50, 60 people there. Free to get in. We don't charge your cover. The only money you're going to spend is if you buy a raffle ticket or if you feed and drink yourself.
Right.
That's it. We don't ask for, we don't charge you $20 at the door like other podcasts or whatever you call them, forums, none of that. You hobnob with me and Eddie. You meet all the, it's a great time. Yeah. Eddie will be there with his lovely wife, Chris. Jen will be there. Everybody loves Jen. Everybody loves Chris. The first ladies of the BSU, the first women of the BSU.
As Cutter's reminding us, Josh Gimble.
Josh Gimble is coming from Canada. Cutter was invited, begged, pleaded, won't do it. We've got people coming from Ohio. They're coming from California. They're coming from all over the place. They come to our viewing party, to come have a good time with us, watch the Rangers. If you're traveling from out of town, the Rangers are home the next day. You can make a whole weekend out of it if you so chose. It's really a great time, and I can't wait. It's only a month from tomorrow now.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it, and it's just always just a tremendous time to bond with the people that we've been friends with for years.
Yeah. I mean
decade-old friendships. I mean,
I forget the number now. Chris John usually keeps track. I don't know. We've got to be getting close to 30 at this point. 25 to 30 viewing parties. We have a good record at viewing parties. I think we're 17-8, or last time I remember checking the record. I mean, it's a very solid winning percentage. The people at McHale's are fantastic. They take excellent care of us. We get the upstairs. We get tons of TVs, tons of tables. Wow. It'll be a great time. So come see us.
Yes, it's again like any other fan base. Well, I would say I can't imagine the Islanders really having a fun bunch of total mental wackos like we have. They have the mental wackos are delusional, but I think Ranger fans are super realists. And again, there is that tinge of fatalism amongst the Ranger fan. But they have
Patty, absolutely not. Nobody gets banned from our viewing parties.
No way. Costa would have been banned. Costa's the one who told me.
She's worried that if she showed up and they lost, that she wouldn't be welcome back. Of course not.
Costa told me, what was that? We were down 5-0 or 4-0 to the Canadians. And I said
4-0. He gave up. One of the greatest comebacks in Ranger history took place at our viewing party.
Yep. And I'll never forget, he was all like, you suck. He was going all crazy. And I said, ye of little faith. He's like, oh, you must be smoking the good stuff. And Rangers came back and won that game.
Yep.
Never forget. So unforgettable wins, a loss. Listen, it's going to happen. I don't believe in that jinxes and all that shit. The game's played on the ice. So if you're coming for the first time, plus our record is just unbelievable. Like Jim said, we're 17-8 or something. I can't believe we've done that many. Every time I go there, I feel like it's the maybe 8th one. But here it goes.
Penalty coming up on the Rangers.
I think Lemieux's going to get it.
Big shot, and it goes through. Georgiev.
Oh,
he got some of it on the delayed penalty. Montreal scores. It's 4-0. Good rush by Brady Shea. Leaves it for Panarin. Across, score! Filipino off a beautiful pass from Artemi Panarin. And the Rangers are on the board.
Stripped of the puck by
Filipino was in his 6th year back then.
Yes.
Howden flies down the far wing, passes to Bushnevich. Here comes Bushnevich with a move. Bushnevich scores!
And all of a sudden, in a span of like 30 seconds, we're only down 2.
But you know what? I do miss Sammy Blais.
Pavel Bushnevich with a beauty.
It's now 4-2.
Armia trying to play it. Hedl, nice pass.
And now this is 2 minutes later.
To Trouba. Now to Fox. They score! Brendan Lemieux.
Oh!
Power play.
And at this point, we're going crazy because in the span of 3 minutes, the Rangers have completely gotten back into this game. It's a whole new game now.
They go! In a span of 3 minutes and 18 seconds.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
The Rangers have scored 3 goals to get back into this game. It's now 4-3. Domi, nice feed, they score! Lehkonen with his second of the game.
So now we've gotten into the third period, and the Rangers were still. It was 4-3, and then the Habs scored again.
Montreal.
And okay, yeah, we still Costa's at this point. Costa's like, phew! I thought they were going to come back, and I was going to be the asshole here.
Yeah.
Leads by 2. It's 5-3.
Panarin back behind the net.
What?
To Strome. Strome taps a pass. Deflects onto the stick of Panarin, who backhands and scores!
Not even a minute
the
later.
Answer's back. The Rangers. It's now 5-4.
Boy, what a pass.
Whoa.
What a pass from Kreider. Through the legs.
Here comes Lemieux with Howden. Here comes Howden near circle. Howden to Lemieux, who scores!
Lemieux with the Bobby Orr.
Lemieux, short-handed. We're tied at 5. Face-off won by the Rangers. Trouba at the far wall. Fires a shot. Trickles behind Price, and they score!
Wow,
The
Carey
Rangers,
Price.
who were
Was
down
that his last game?
4-0, have scored 6 of the last 7 goals in this game.
Oh, thank you, Sam.
2
Couldn't figure
seconds
that
to
out.
go. And long shot, it's over. Rangers win it.
David Quinn prepping this team for greatness.
Matt Morello never liked his hair.
So anyway, what we're trying to say is that our viewing parties have seen some of the greatest moments in, just phenomenal moments at our viewing parties. Overtime wins, big comeback wins. I mean, just incredible.
Yeah. Now, on that clip that you just showed,
yes,
it was partially Don LaGreca doing the play-by-play.
Yes,
for the Rangers radio. Now, they've hired a new guy for the Rangers radio.
I saw that.
Now,
I wonder why.
I know nothing about this guy, but what's your takeaway from this? Is this a Kenny's going to get kicked up for TV next year or what?
I don't know. One of these, is this a succession plan? I don't know why I'm struggling with that word. I don't know.
Is this a move? Alex Faust. This guy, what he broadcast for the Kings? Paul Gaduzzi, are you familiar with this guy? I mean, I know you hate the Kings, but I mean, I'm sure you've listened to some of the games. Anybody listen to him?
He'll join a rotation with Kenny Albert and Don LaGreca.
I thought somebody dressed up as Al Trotwig last night.
What was that?
Jack-o'-lantern. Troutwig was out in Halloween last night. Never to be seen again. Him and Jimmy Hoffa.
Right.
So he's a play-by-play guy. He's
done games on TNT apparently. We'll see about that. Grew up in New York, so that's encouraging.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe Kenny moves up next year to the big spot.
Huh.
As long as Joe Micheletti's in that booth, it'll always be a terrible broadcast.
I mean, I know people got an affinity for Sam because he's just been there forever. It's 83. I mean, he's been doing it. But
I would rather have Sam sit there with an upturned mop with a bucket for a head than Joe Micheletti.
I can't stand really either one of them. They have no chemistry. We've said this so much.
Right.
I mean, they're boring.
Joe Micheletti said the other night that the second power play unit is at their best when they shoot the puck.
Oh.
He gets paid for that.
Shooting the puck is good.
He gets paid for that.
I like Don LaGreca, but he's a Devils fan, but he's the kind of warm to the Rangers. But we'll see. I mean,
hey, at least our team has a radio broadcast.
That's right. And speaking of which, I can't watch an Islander game. I'm going to say this honestly. It's not because I hate the Islanders with all my life force. It's that Butch Goring is calling everybody by their first name. Casey gives it over to
Matt,
and Matt passes it back to Thomas. I don't know what he's saying. It's like he's a coach of the team, and we've already gone over his coaching record.
Right.
I think it was sub Brian Trottier. That's how good that he was.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think it was, right?
The team is fucking boring. They only have a goalie, and they suck. But that broadcast is it's over Homer. It's almost like watching the Bruins. Now, I can't believe the Bruins are 8-0 again. They're undefeated again. Oh, what's going on over there? Is this something in the water?
They're a great organization. They're like the Braves. They're like the Braves of hockey. That's what you got. That's what you aspire to do is build an organization that you can lose your top 2 centers to retirement and not skip a beat. Right?
Yeah. And I think Vegas is undefeated.
If the Rangers number 1 and number 2 centers were gone next year, it would take 10 years to fix
get
that
a letter.
problem.
There'd be a letter.
It would take 10 years of Eric Christensen's and Derek Stepan at 41 out of retirement.
Now, Michael, again, you're talking about the guy that's the in-game gambling ads. The guy they have now, I think who you're referring to, the black gentleman, you're saying he's got creepy eyes and he looks like he's trying to molest you or something. I find him a lot better than the stooge they had last year doing that.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
But again, here's a hot topic around the league. Let me ask you this. What about this Tim Stutzel, the Shane Pinto thing with the gambling, the 41 games? What do you think? He's wearing a fucking decal on his helmet for the fucking gambling company.
Well, I mean, look, we're seeing it in football. You're seeing it in hockey. You've seen it in basketball too. I think all these sports leagues, they're all in bed with the betting. What do they think is going to happen? What do they think is going to happen?
Did he bet on hockey
guys,
or was it something else?
I'm not even sure. But these guys that are gamblers. They're running fake accounts with their parents' names just to gamble. Of course, it's going to be a scourge. 10 years from now, you watch what's going to happen with all this betting. I mean, it is so overdone. In the middle of the game, they split screens so that the guy can come up and do a gambling advertisement.
Yeah, it's a problem, and it's going to be a problem like.
All right, you want to play the video? We talked to the coach.
Oh yeah, we talked about everything under the sun here.
You and I spoke with Peter Laviolette today. He was nice enough to talk to us. Should have played the video.
Yeah, let's say, we cornered Peter Laviolette today.
You can't hear us talk because you can't hear anybody talk.
But they got a sponsor. What do they have? The fucking I don't know. They have some stupid. We'll find out what the sponsor is. Sorry.
Afternoon, right? Afternoon, everybody.
Oh God.
It's good to get back out there today and practice. It was good to have a day off yesterday too, for the players. I'm sure for everybody just to reset and refresh. That was a good one.
Peter, next time you come, wear a bra.
Just from a time standpoint, the time zones, the travel, and all that went into it. So it was good to come back and take a breath yesterday, and then I think really good that we have a day today to start the process to crank it back up. And so.
He's not in the captain's shirt, Eddie. He's obviously taking your fashion advice.
Oh, he'll be back. Nobody should take my fashion advice.
I think the guys are excited about that.
What do you got to guard against? I mean, you're playing so well, but when you have that coming back home and that
Again, can't hear you.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. I think Listen,
Was he a C cup?
Had the crystal ball, and you could tell exactly what was going to go on.
If they're winning, I don't care if the man has tits to his knees.
I should talk.
I don't care. I don't care if he looks like Ken Hitchcock.
He needs the man's ear.
But try to address things the day before. I think
call
it's
him
always
sugar
just
tits.
When something's on your mind, I feel it's best just to approach him, put it on the table.
Keep bringing me that sugar with the
At the
wind.
very least, we're thinking about it, whatever it might be. And so, we did talk about it a little bit. And, I think the opponent helps sometimes. Where Carolina's been a good team in the division for quite a few years now, and so you get your attention right away.
What does that, obviously 5-0 is great, but that road trip, as far as what you're sensing that it did for the group, can you describe that at all?
I like the fact that we worked hard really throughout almost all of the games. There was a third period or two where we had a significant lead and we sat back maybe a little bit more than I would have liked, and I would have liked to attack a little bit more. I like the fact that we fought back in a couple games, and so just a resilient group inside of how I opened up about it was a bit of a grind, and the fact that we stayed resilient even in that last game. We stayed
this
resilient.
Guy is just he's
kept
so
pushing.
ecstatic. I can't believe this guy.
Thrilled to be here,
Peter. Tone it down.
Thrilled to be here.
I like that about it.
Where does the group hug originate for you?
It's not really a hug. It's more of a huddle. I call it a huddle. I'm going to make sure you get it worded right. Hug you.
See, he's convivial. He's joking. He's having a great time.
The huddle.
Now, what's this with the huddle and the hug? Well, I don't understand this because I couldn't hear the question. Because then,
let's go back a little bit. Let's see.
And kept pushing. So I like that about it.
Where does the group hug originate for you?
Yeah,
it's not really a hug. It's more of a huddle. I call it a huddle. I'm going to make sure you get it worded right. Hug you. It's a huddle. It's more just way of players talking and breaking practice. So.
Oh, I think they break practice with a like a group. It's a huddle all together, like a giant football.
Some millennial shit.
Hey, look, if they're winning, I don't care if it's a circle jerk, my friend.
I agree. I wholeheartedly look at him, Frowny the Clowny. Look at Frowny the Clowny over here. Hey. Lighten up a little, Peter. With 7-2 here, bro.
I got to get the Mr. Softy theme song to play behind me. This
is my face when I watch the Jet Giant game.
Right.
Like, I can't believe I'm wasting my time with this shit. Look at his face. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, it started. I've done it before. I speak too much. I'm in too many meetings. It's my voice too much, and I think sometimes it's good just for the players to do something to end the day.
Speaks to the team.
On the huddle. On the huddle, it's the players' voices, not mine. That's what I like about it. They end the day, not me.
Peter, what have you seen in terms of defensively through the neutral zone into your zone defending on this road trip? What was good? What worked? 7-0 against 5 teams. What have you seen defensively?
I've said this, before the road trip. I thought we were really good defensively in the last 2 exhibition games. We played a couple of good teams that had a good portion in their lineup in there, and we had a good portion of ours. And we didn't let up much at all.
We look good in practice.
Oh, yeah, that was
the ones that we did
had a good practice.
They were uh-oh moments. They were like, oh boy. And it was something that was a major breakdown of, okay, this is not what we're looking for. And I think that we've carried that through for the most part. The one game that I didn't like the way we competed defensively and offensively was the Nashville game. I just felt like we were on our heels and we didn't attack the game. But from a defensive standpoint, I do think that the guys have made a commitment to coming back and make it difficult to play through the neutral zone. And then
we used to have that clip too.
Yes, we did.
The Three Stooges sleeping.
I don't know what happened to that one.
We'll have to find that one.
Look, I don't care. Just keep winning.
That's true. I don't care. Jane Russell over here with her Playtex bras and all that stuff.
Jane Russell.
That's such an old reference. Such a washed reference.
Not if you're a Honeymooners fan, you know who Jane Russell is.
Right. That, you know what it is that first of all, they're dumb questions. And he must be like, this is New York and there's only like 5 reporters here. Like, does anybody care about this sport? He probably had more to deal with in DC and in Nashville. His hair is you didn't like David Quinn's hair, man. I mean, this guy, it's almost approaching Sam Rosen and that little coif.
I don't care if he's got 8 strands of hair that are 2 feet long and he swoops around his head. As just keep winning.
Well, that's true. I just say, you know, it's funny.
I'm painting quite a picture, aren't I? Tits down to his knees, the hair swooped all over his head. I don't care. Just win, baby.
Yes. I agree with you, my friend. I'm poking fun because we're doing a show here, but
right.
He's done a great job. And so I certainly, and again, I am no looker myself, but for comedy's sake, if it's put up in front of me, I have to do bits. You have to do bits. This is our lot in life to do bits.
We are here to entertain.
That's right. You could have anything for hair. I mean, if you bring us a cup, forget about it. Wasn't that the last time we won that cup? What was that, 37 years ago?
I'm sure there'll be a celebration for it shortly in Madison Square Garden. They'll remind you.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I was listening to the terrestrial radio, and they said, and these guys know shit about hockey. They said, what team do you think has the most likelihood of winning a championship first? And they all said the Rangers. Because the Rangers have had success in the regular season. Some of these other teams
were lousy with it.
Yeah. Some of these other teams in New York are dysfunctional, to say the least.
Were they including New Jersey teams in that question?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Why, you think all right, I have to talk about this because me and Jim were friends, and I know there's a lot of people, but that Jet Giant game, let me tell you, let me just talk about this Jet Giant game. I am not invested in the New York Jets as much as Jim is invested in the Giants. And I am a realist to the New York Jets. I know what the Jets are. But unfortunately, I spend a lot of time in the car doing the things that I do, the grocery shopping, whatever, all this stuff. So I listen to a lot of the sports radio. And I hear, and I have to say this, guys. Please indulge me with the fucking football shit. The Jet fans are talking like Zach Wilson is improving every week. He came through when he needed it, and if I didn't have to wait on hold for 2 hours, I would call in and go, listen, you people are delusional. This quarterback he has no concept of time. He can't check off for shit. He looks at Garrett Wilson, and then he starts running. And usually he's going to get sacked, or he's going to run out of bounds and save time for the Giants like he did in that game. He has no concept of the clock, no concept of the time. Every play goes down to 0 seconds. It's like, is he going to get it all? All right. to make it worse, they had to deal with a fourth string center who came off the practice squad. It was a total joke. The whole game, nobody deserved to win that game. It should have been a tie. You both go home. You both suck. Now, let me get to so I have to hear these Jet fans, and it's this and that. And I'm like, your team stinks. Your coach stinks. How many penalties are you going to take? An offside on a punt? Are you kidding me? I'd kick that guy off the fucking team. Then I got to hear the Giant fans. Some of them have come to the rightful conclusion. Their season is over. I don't care about the schedule. I'm sorry. I got Tiki Barber, who I have respect for him as a fucking football player, but he thinks the Giants are going to win 3 out of the next 4. The Stooges doing to another Giant face is going to win 4 out of 4. I'm going to get your take in a second.
No, it's fine.
The Jets stink. The Giants stink. These are not professional football teams. If they were not playing each other, that's not a measuring stick for anything. Now, granted, I was convinced that the Tommy DeVito era was going to end in a Jet loss, so the Jets could remember Tommy DeVito's name for the rest of his life. The game is a shambles. I like the coach. I like Dable. I like him. But I don't know what's happening to this year. He's got no stones for some reason now. I don't get it. Both teams are horrible. Anybody who thinks they're going anywhere, ridiculous. Zach, what? I got to ask you. I watched that Jet game. What does that guy, Trevor Siemian, have to do to get in a fucking game? I'm watching Wilson. He's throwing at a guy's foot. He's throwing it way wide of the receivers. He can't hit anybody except for Brees Hall there in that one play. Now, Jim, go.
All right. First of all, here's a couple of points I made on a message board the other day, and then we don't have to even go any further. The Giants last year, they played way above their heads. They took advantage of an easy schedule, and they rode the wave. But even when they were winning last year, you knew this team needed a lot of work. And now that they have crashed back to earth like fucking Sputnik, the work can begin. The real work. It was probably the worst thing that could have happened to them last year was to go 9-7-1 or whatever their record. I think it was 9, something like that. And make the playoffs and then win a game. Because they set expectations that there was no way they were going to meet. This is an extremely flawed football team. Extremely flawed. Dave Gettleman set this franchise back 5 years. 5 years. It's not going to, you can't rebuild overnight. They have to, everything from the ground up. Now, first of all, okay, Graham Gano, who is as money as a kicker has ever been, missed 2 field goals on Sunday. He's hurt. They're hurt, and he needs off-season surgery. Oh, what the fuck are you doing with a gimpy kicker? Teams find kickers every week of the football season.
Yeah.
They find a guy that can come in and at least kick a 40-yard or 35-yard field goal. This season is a nowhere season. Why are they keeping this guy on the roster? That's first of all. Second of all, if you have a quarterback on your roster on game day that you do not trust to throw a pass, then you don't have a quarterback. Why have him on the team? They brought this kid in who looked pretty good in preseason, obviously good enough to make the NFL roster. There's no shortage of unemployed quarterbacks out there. If this guy's on the roster, you bring him in and let him throw 2 passes? Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. Yesterday was the trade deadline. I would have traded anyone and everyone who is not a part of the future. I don't care who it is. I don't care what his name is. I don't care how many jerseys are worn by him in the stands with the fans. Gone. If he is not a part of next year, the year after that, gone. Get your 6th round, 7th round picks, whatever. Start building for the future. This season is nowhere. That's it. I don't care if they win another game the rest of the season. They did sign Matt Barkley today. And the reason they had to sign Matt Barkley because their offensive line is so bad that they got to find a quarterback who at least knows half his ass from his schmutz with Dayball's system. And Matt Barkley was that guy. Don't be surprised if Matt Barkley is playing on Sunday against I think they play the Raiders.
Yes. And the Raiders.
Don't be surprised if he's in there. Because now supposedly Daniel Jones is coming back. Whoopee.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't this the guy that everybody was saying, there was a quarterback controversy about Tyrod Taylor taking his place. And they were all like, Daniel Jones is back.
Lawrence Taylor could take Daniel Jones's place. June Taylor, there's an old reference.
The June Taylor dances.
June Taylor dances. There's an old reference for you. I do not like Daniel Jones. Don't get me started on him because I could do another 2 hours. Don't get
the
me
Raiders
started.
fired their coach. Didn't they sign an ex-Giant Super Bowl winner there, Pierce? What's his
Antonio
name?
Pierce took over the Raiders. Yeah, he's the interim head coach.
These guys,
the GM and their coach.
That's why I would say for Ranger fans, I think we're pretty reality based. But I'm hearing. I don't even know. I mean, I thought smart fans were in New York. They're not. I mean, they're not.
Yeah, can I go back? I'm sorry. I know I said I was going to be. Go back to the kicker, right? The Graham Gano. Again, the guy's as money as it gets.
Right,
but he's hurt. The Dallas Cowboys have their kicker, who is lights out this year, never kicked before he came to the Dallas Cowboys. This guy was a soccer player. He never kicked a football in his life. Teams find kickers. They're a dime a dozen. All he's got to do is just be good from 40 yards in.
But
that's it. I don't need it. He doesn't have to kick 65 yarders. Just go get me somebody I can rely on when there's 26 seconds left in the game and the Jets don't have any timeouts left. And all I got to do is kick 3 points and make Zach fucking Wilson, who has one of the most punchable fucking faces in the NFL.
I hate him.
He has Joe Burrow's smugness with absolutely none of his talent.
He's like a little kid out there. He doesn't look like a man.
I fucking hate his face. His face.
You hate somebody's face. Finally.
I hate it's just so fucking punchable. All of Joe Burrow's smugness with none of his talent. But anyway.
Okay.
But I digress. Where's Ali Haji Sheik when we need him? Yes.
Ali Haji Shank.
Yes, because it's a great time to be an Iranian right now in America. That's what the Giants need, an Iranian kicker.
All right. I know you're
Anywho.
Well, I want to ask you this one final question.
Yes. Now you got me fired up.
Daboll, knowing that he's got an injured kicker on that 4th and 1, decides to kick the field goal instead of go for it. Do you have a problem? Was it 4th and 1 or it was 4th and short? I think
yeah.
Do you have a problem with that?
No.
You have no problem with that.
Nope.
Okay.
Because you got an offensive line. The Jets were stopping the Giants up the middle all day long.
9 people up in the front.
And the Jets knew after DeVito was in the game for a quarter that they weren't throwing the ball anymore. So you're not fooling anybody.
No, the Jets would put 9 men up front. They knew they weren't going to pass.
No problem. The odds are you kick the field goal, you kick the ball away, and then you take your chances that the Jets are not going to drive 80 yards and score the game-winning touchdown with no timeouts and 26 seconds.
Let me ask you this. One more question.
There we go.
Overtime. Why didn't he defer? Why didn't he take the ball knowing that he could not move it?
Yeah, you're right. Deferring would have probably been the right thing to do because you kick off, your defense is playing well. Odds are you probably pin the Jets, you make them punt. Maybe you get the ball at midfield. Their punt returner, another guy they just signed off a fucking grocery store. This guy's returned punts, and he wasn't bad. Bad. Wearing old Phil McConkey's number, and he looked like him. Just a little punt returner, scatting all over the place. So yeah, maybe you play the odds there. You try and you hope you pin the Jets, and maybe you get the ball around the 40-yard line. But I don't know, but then you got to get to what, the 10-yard line so your kicker doesn't miss. I don't know. He's missed 3 or 4 field goals this year from short, like 40 yards in. Gus the Donkey. That's a good Gus the Donkey.
That was a good show. That was a good movie.
You could make the argument that maybe it deferred.
That was no ordinary game, Cutter. That was the worst game I have ever seen.
That was one of the worst football games ever. And what's funny is Eddie and I talked about the game last week, and I said this game has 13-12 written all over it. It was 13-10. I gave the Giants too much credit. Thought they'd score 13 points.
My first prediction was 2-0 Giants.
2-0.
That's about right.
Absolutely terrible football game.
I mean, I watched them all. That was the worst game I've ever seen. Even when Tyrod was in, the Giants weren't doing shit. But at least there was an option to pass. And as far as a Jet fan should not, other than, it's about wins and losses. Yeah, it is. But guess what? This team blows. It blows.
They're not good. They have a very good defense. I'll give them that. They have a very good
coach
defense.
Stinks too. He's terrible. I'm sick of his face too. That goofy face. That the bad clock management. His players are undisciplined. That's on the coach. See, when the Jets are going, when the Rangers are going good, this is all we have to complain about.
Right.
But
I don't really at this point. I don't really care if the Giants win another game this season. They'll get a top 5 pick if they're lucky. If it all works out, they picked up another second rounder for the Big Cat, which was a great trade. They'll have 2 second-round picks. Picks.
All right, guys. I'm sorry you guys probably tuned out during this football discussion, but hey.
Now we've actually got more people now than we had about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, because me and Jim, we were passionate. I knew he had something to say. I've been listening to all these fucking delusional people in New York. I thought New York was supposed to be the smart fans. How they come to these conclusions?
Social media has killed everything.
Yeah, the radio used to be, and they don't even hold these people accountable on the radio. Thanks for your call. I'd be like, you're a moron. Get off.
But I will say this. Kayvon Thibodeau certainly vindicated Carl Banks on Sunday.
Well, yes. That's Sal Licata. He's another guy. I didn't know. What happened with the Zadanoff? I'm getting what's going on with the Senators? The GM got canned?
Yeah. Joe texted me that right before we went on the air.
Oh, really? Who was the Senators GM? Pierre McGuire?
Pierre Dorian resigned.
Oh, wrong Pierre.
Ottawa was involved with the whole Dadonov trade involving Vegas and Anaheim.
Well, I'm glad we went in for the hot-breaking, fast-breaking Ottawa news. So anyway, let's go Rangers. Sorry to get you all worked up, but I thought it was therapeutic for both of us.
That's all right. No,
again, I've said this about the Rangers. I'll say this about I just want to be proud of my team.
Right.
And I'm not proud of my team. I don't care about the win or the loss.
And I'll show you right up there is my picture with Wellington Mara. That's looking. He's always looking down on me.
Oh, wow. I got a good Wellington Mara story, but I'll tell you it next. Everybody's sick and tired of Nick DeCristo. Jets news. Listen, I'm criticizing the Jets. They give me the Jet news. They made a great.
Unless he's talking about the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah. So Winnipeg
could
Jet
be.
News. I don't know. Winnipeg Jet news may be more. Oh, Joe. Nikolai Ehlers, Joe. He's injury prone. He's a fantastic player. Phenomenal. All right. We've done it. We succeeded where others have failed, Jim. Oh, we didn't mention the low class trip to the Wolfpack.
The BSU takeover for Hartford. Yes. And actually, I got a message while we're on the air.
I've got an update as well.
That Anthony Pella, I always have trouble with this. Pelliccio, I think, from Bayonne, wants 4 tickets for Hartford. I will be. We're gonna buy the tickets probably Friday. They're gonna be seats. We're not gonna do the suite this time. We're gonna be out amongst the throngs, chanting players' names, doing roll call, shit like that. But
I got bonus info.
Oh, what's that?
You know how they're gonna you can get your pictures with the players?
Yes.
Taking place on the ice.
Wow. That is huge. On the ice at the SL Center.
Former Hartford Whalers. Where Chris Katsopoulos once skated.
Wow.
On the ice. We don't know if a caravan is available yet. But we'll see. We'll try to work out. But
so I will be we are giving first access to our Patreon members if they want to buy tickets, and probably tomorrow or Friday we will open it up to everyone else who might want to go. The tickets are going to be about $25 a piece. I've got a list going here, and right now we've got 15 people.
Well, Michael, it's not exactly like right next door from Long Island out east. It's 3 hours. Listen, you get in a car, you put the radio on, and that's it.
All right. It's a good chance to catch up with old shows. It's 3 hours, and it's an afternoon game. It's going to be great.
And you get to go on the ice. You could
going to meet Matt Rempe.
Brennan Othman, Johnny
Brennan Othman, possibly.
And you guys, I'm telling you, you better work these players when you meet them. Say, you got to be on their show. It's great. Ba, ba, ba.
Right. I think we should do we should do roll call like they do at the Yankee Stadium for players. We'll all chant Matt Rempe until the players acknowledge us.
Oh yes.
Because we will, as far as I know, we will be sitting behind the Hartford bench downstairs.
Can't wait to see that Chuck Knobloch in person and say, everybody wants you. It's going to be great. You guys got to sign up and get ready for this. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm already saying I'm going to slip on the ice and fall, and it'll go viral.
I'm sure we'll be walking the carpets on the ice.
Paul apparently was Paul Caducci was over at the UBS Arena. I like that place. Unfortunately, there's morons that root for that hockey team. It's in Hauppauge, the Dave and Buster's. So anyway, Jim, I got to say it was very passionate, fun-filled. The Rangers are winning. I'm enjoying it. I just want to say I do have one of these feelings about Gallant had a spell, if you will, over Rod Brindamore while he was here. Rod Brindamore, I consider an upper echelon coach. Gallant, I just considered he just had no strategies, but they were able to win.
Right.
Now they're going to have a guy who's got strategy.
Right. It had, we always said it had to eat at Brindamore that Gallant's team was being
no adjustments. 51 shots for 15 against, and they would lose 3-0.
Right.
This is ridiculous. But I hate the Canes. They're entitled fans.
Right.
This one's at the Garden, right? So they won't have to deal with that. So, good night, everybody. We love you.
We love you guys.
Letting us into your homes.
Yes. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We had a big crowd tonight. We love it. We will see you guys early next week, probably. Let's go Rangers. Coming home, going away, coming home.
Yep.
Canes tomorrow. In Minnesota Saturday. And then home for Detroit and Minnesota next week. And then Columbus. And then the Devils. Busy month.
Yeah.
Busy month.
Busy. All right. We love you guys.
We love you guys. Thanks for being here. We'll see you
Yes.
soon. Don't forget, check us out on Facebook. Find the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. iHeartRadio, iTunes,
Podbean,
Spotify. We're on all of them. Amazon Music, anywhere.
Microsoft Zoom.
That's that too.
That's
All
not,
right.
I don't think that. That's not
Eddie,
even-
always a pleasure. We love you guys. Good night, everybody.